This was not supposed to happen. For a long time, Southeast Asia was just a playground. Big countries like America, China, and Europe came here to play their own games. They made the rules. They made the money, and we were expected to just follow. But things are changing. Now the Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE are sending billions of dollars to Southeast Asia. China is getting closer too. And suddenly, our small countries are right in the middle of something huge, the world's next power triangle. For most of history, Southeast Asia didn't get to decide its own future. When we made rubber, the British took the profit. When we grew rice, others set the prices. When the world economy crashed, our people lost jobs. And when rich countries went to war, our lands became the battlefield. Even after independence, the system didn't change much. The banks, the factories, the technology, they still belong to someone else. But people here are smart. We watched, we learned, and slowly we started to build our own path. While the world looked at America and China, something powerful was growing in Southeast Asia. Indonesia became a trillion-dollar economy. Vietnam turned into a factory for the world. Malaysia built Petronas, one of the biggest oil companies on earth. Singapore became a world-class bank and tech hub. And together, these countries formed ASEAN, 10 nations standing as one. Many outsiders didn't take it seriously at first, but now ASEAN is home to more than 680 million people. Together, we are a $4 trillion economy, the 5th biggest in the world. And that's why the Gulf countries are coming here. The Gulf has money, a lot of it, but they know oil will not last forever. So they are looking east, and they see ASEAN as the next big thing. Saudi Arabia is investing in energy with Malaysia. The UAE is helping Indonesia build its new capital. Qatar is putting money into the Philippines. Even Singapore's DBS Bank has made deals with Saudi banks. This is not just about trade, it's about power. The Gulf wants to join the game before it's too late. Here's what's really happening. China needs safe trade routes and steady oil. The Gulf wants to grow new industries and food supply. And ASEAN wants to stay free, to work with everyone, not just one side. So instead of picking a superpower, ASEAN is building a triangle. China brings the factories, the Gulf brings the money. ASEAN brings the location, our ports, our sea routes, our people. A third of the world's trade passes through the Strait of Malacca. That's right in our backyard. If you control that, you don't just move goods, you move power. Now the old powers, America, Europe, and others, are watching. They don't like what they see. The US calls it a risky move. The UK calls it confusing. But let's be real, they're not afraid of risk. They're afraid of losing control. For the first time, Southeast Asia isn't asking for help. We're making deals. We're setting terms. If you want access to our markets, our resources, our people, you have to play by our rules. But this new game isn't easy. It's dangerous. China's influence keeps growing. The Gulf's money could change local politics. And the West is pushing back with new military and trade deals. Each ASEAN country must walk a thin line. If we move too fast or pick the wrong partner, we could fall into another kind of control. Indonesia has to protect its islands. Thailand needs stability. Myanmar's war makes things harder for everyone, and Singapore can't carry the whole region alone. The challenge is simple. Can 10 very different nations stay united when everyone else wants a piece of them? In May 2025, Gulf and Chinese leaders met in Kuala Lumpur, not in Washington, not in London, here in Southeast Asia. That says everything. The center of power is moving east. Money, trade, and technology are no longer controlled by the West. They flow through ASEAN. Vietnam is signing new tech deals. Malaysia is connecting oil with Gulf energy. Indonesia is selling new policies, not just raw materials. And the Philippines is turning into a digital hub. For the first time, we are not being told what to do. We are telling others what we want. The West says ASEAN is weak because it doesn't take sides. But that's not weakness. That's wisdom. By staying neutral, ASEAN can work with everyone. trade with China, invest with the Gulf, partner with the West. While the big countries argue, we keep building quietly, patiently, together. This is the art of balance, and Southeast Asia is mastering it. Look at what's already happening. Petronas is one of the top oil companies in the world. Temasek, Singapore's investment firm, owns assets bigger than many nations. Vietnam is exporting electric cars. Indonesia is banning raw exports to force local industry. The Philippines is exporting digital workers and services. The underdogs are rising, and the superpowers can't ignore us anymore. Every meeting, every handshake, every deal, it now goes through ASEAN first. For decades, they told us we were too small, too slow, too divided. But look now, the world is changing, and Southeast Asia is leading that change. Not by war, not by shouting, but by strategy, by patience, by knowing our worth. Because the future doesn't belong only to the East or the West. It belongs to whoever can stay balanced in between. That's our strength. That's our secret. The underdogs have learned how to hunt. And if we keep going this way, this could be our century.